It's India Monet, also known as Melanin Mogul, and I am your mental health and wellness expert. So right now, I'm sitting at the park. This is Livingston Park, or it might be called Children's Hospital Park. The reason why I'm at the park is because I am fighting depression. And one thing that helps me is nature. So I'm at the park, and I'll just show you. This is the park. The fall leaves are beautiful. There are some kids here playing. Look at the trees. Just look at these trees. This is not a park that I frequent. I haven't been here in years. Oops. Yeah. How do you fight depression in nature? So one of the ways you can fight depression in nature is literally by hugging a tree. This is a beautiful tree, although there is a basketball game going on nearby. This tree. Look at that beautiful tree. And so, tree hugging is a real thing, and I'm just going to show you, and I will list the benefits of hugging a tree, but yeah. It's like a release. So here's another tree over here. This tree is a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna go hug this tree too. My arms can actually fit around this one. So hugging trees, it is scientifically proven to help you de-stress, and also grounding yourself. So grounding yourself is literally the practice of being barefoot and connecting with nature. So the main reason why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to show people that you can use nature to heal yourself. I had a procedure done about a month ago, and my procedure was pretty invasive, and I'm having a bit of a long recovery. It's a little bit painful. I've been very discouraged. I've been discouraged during my recovery because I did not have much support. I didn't have anyone to come help me take care of myself during my recovery, and it hurt my feelings. It hurt me. It made me feel discouraged. I was fighting depression. And so every day that I felt good enough to, I would go outside, and I would try to go for a walk, or I'd crack my window and I would get fresh air. And I'm in Ohio, so the weather is fluky. 1 minute it might be nice in a 70-degree day, sunny. The next minute is back to fall weather. It's chilly. So I try to take any opportunity I can to really be with nature and be one with nature. So as far as grounding yourself, you're just going to literally remove your shoes, put your feet into the grass. You can put your palms to the sun or to the sky, and you're just going to breathe. You're just going to relax, and you're just going to allow the nature to fill you and to consume you. So let me show you guys how I ground. I'm gonna take off my socks and shoes, but put my feet in the soil. And I just breathe. I take full deep breaths. I put my hands up to the sky, I have my feet planted, I close my eyes, and I listen to my surrounding, and I allow that to be a part of my meditation. And I put my feet in the ground. So, grounding myself is another way. Another thing that I do in nature that helps me fight depression is I go and collect things from outside. Right now, I really like the beautiful leaves. And so I might take a few leaves from the tree, and I might take these leaves and like put them with parsnip paper or wax paper and iron them, and it's like a really pretty thing. You can frame it, you could just keep it to look at, something to have on your desk at work. But I just thought I would come and tell you guys how I use nature to heal myself. Another thing I do is I take in really deep breaths of fresh air, and so make sure you can actually breathe and clear your throat. And then you want to breathe in, breathe out, full deep breaths. I like to do this while seated in the grass. So if you have a yoga mat or something like that, you can sit down in the grass and you can start your meditation like that. Texture. So when you're barefoot, you can walk through the grass, let your feet feel the soil, let your feet feel the grass. Even if you have like a pile of leaves, you can let your feet run through the pile of leaves. Anything that you want to do that just makes your body feel good. Some people like the sound of rain, and rain can be soothing. So I also would suggest cracking your window, or if you have a porch. What I did a couple weeks ago, it was raining and I sat in my car. So I sat in my car and I listened to the rain. I had my windows cracked and I took in some deep breaths. And I believe I was listening to some music, but then I turned it off because I enjoy the sound of the rain. So walking also is another way that you can fight depression in nature. And so you guys can walk with me. So here are some beautiful leaves. Just even the sound of the leaves. Some of them are crisp, some of them are kind of waxy. Yeah, so I'll just walk and I'll talk with you. Now, I also 100% recommend speaking to a professional. If you're experiencing symptoms of depression, hopelessness, even thoughts of unaliving yourself, I definitely recommend, if you have a professional, if you have a person at your job that works in HR. Sometimes human resources provides a way for you to go and have counseling and therapy. Taking in the scenery, staring at the sky. That's another thing I like to do in nature, and I'll show you guys. So you will hear a little ambulance because this is a park next to a hospital. The hospital is over there. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend breathing. Some people actually yell. Some people will just let out a holler or a scream. Ah! And they just want to get it out their system. They feel like it's a good release. So that could be something. One thing I enjoy about Columbus, it's a very historical place. And so oftentimes when I'm out, hold on. Okay, I cut the camera off because the ambulance, I think it's gone now. So another great thing about Columbus is we have a lot of history kind of weaved into things. Now I'm at Livingston Park, and this is a little bit of history from this side of town. And this is right in the park. So apparently there was a Mr. Livingston, and they had a tomato company, and that is where the name, because I'm on Livingston Avenue, I'm at Livingston Park. So another thing I would suggest is when you're in nature, bring a book or something you enjoy. I don't think you should be on the phone. I think that you should be reflecting, maybe even a journal, maybe something to release how you're feeling. So if you're experiencing any symptoms of depression or hopelessness and you want to come out into nature to reconnect, possibly bring a journal so you can write down your feelings, so you can write down what you're experiencing, and if you know of any ways to cope with those things, or if you have any coping mechanisms that you've had in the past, you want to make sure that you're using them. You don't want to neglect your self-care plan. And if you don't have a self-care plan, we can talk about creating a self-care plan in another video. So one thing that I do occasionally is I people watch. So when I'm at a park or somewhere, just being in an environment, you can see the families behind me, being in an environment full of joy, full of people rejoicing, because this is a children's hospital. Some people are going home. Some people are actually out to play, but they may be going through a medical service. But to see the joy of the people at the park, having fun, pushing each other on swings, playing around, it brings me joy. And now the sun is out. And since the sun is out, I think I'm going to do a little bit more grounding in this area, because the sun is, I can actually face the sun now. So, yeah, I think it's beautiful. I think it's very important to check in with yourself daily. So when you don't feel like yourself, you need to acknowledge it. You need to have these conversations with yourself. Check in. How do I feel today? Is there anything that has occurred that has made me feel better or worse? I believe that myself personally, I felt worse during my recovery when I did not get the attention or the consideration that I expected to get during my recovery. And a part of that is disappointing yourself. Sometimes you will have expectations and they're not met. And so one thing I want to say is no expectation leads to no disappointment. Expectation leads to disappointment oftentimes. Now you can have a standard. You can have something that you thought was going to occur. If someone promised you something, that's a bit different than an actual just expectation. And so no expectation, no disappointment is something that I have been living by. How do you know if you're not doing okay? Your hygiene is one of the biggest indications that you are going into a state of depression. Some women like to wear makeup, wear jewelry, do their hair, things of that nature. And I'm not talking about your basic day-to-day, but some people put a little extra pizzazz in their fashion and their style. If you're one of those people and you don't have the energy or the desire to get dressed, you don't have the energy or the desire to do the things that you normally do, you may be experiencing some symptoms of depression. Now, that doesn't mean that you are in fact depressed. You can have symptoms of depression and not be depressed. So I just want people to understand that life is an emotional roller coaster. And personally, what's helped me is coming close to nature. Look at this beautiful tree. Look at this tree. Isn't this amazing? Today is October 26th, by the way. So this is fall in Ohio. I like trees like this. I usually would climb and sit in a tree like this, but since I'm out in the open, I'm not gonna do that today. So I just wanted to do a wellness check with you guys. I just wanted to let you know a few tips and ways that you can cure or help your depression or help your mental health by going into nature. Now that I've got that out of the way, because sometimes things are just on my heart to share with other people. So I hope you were able to take something away from my video today. Please like, share, and subscribe. I make videos on self-help, self-love, motivation. I do vlog just my personal life at times, but my purpose is to uplift and encourage. My purpose is to share my experience and express to people how I was able to overcome, hopefully to encourage them. Coming into nature, hugging trees, walking in nature, taking deep breaths, meditating, putting my hands to the sun and my palms to the earth are all things that help me. The most important thing that has helped me throughout my battle with depression is prayer. I pray to God. I show gratitude. So, for example, I have been feeling down and I've been going through a lot with this, but I still have to thank God that I was able to have my surgery, that I was able to be healed in a way that I will be recovering. So I'm very grateful to God that I had the procedure. Even though my recovery may be difficult, I have to show gratitude that this won't be an issue moving forward. Once I'm recovered, I'm done. I also show gratitude for the people that I do have. Although I did mention that I was disappointed, I was slightly disappointed, I must acknowledge that I have people that supported me. I have people that reached out to me, that messaged me, that texted me, that called me, and I appreciate those people. I don't want to dwell on who wasn't there for me when I could just show love to the people that were there for me. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to make new connections. I'm grateful that I have another level of independence. So anytime someone isn't there for you the way that you thought they would be, you tap into another piece of strength that you didn't know you had. And so for me, although I was disappointed because one of my loved ones who said that they were going to be there during my procedure or help me with my recovery, I don't want to be bitter. And I don't want to say, well, this person did this to me or that to me. Life happens. Sometimes people have their own stuff going on. They can't be there for you. They haven't been there for themselves, quite honestly. And so keep in mind that when your feelings are hurt and when you feel like someone has done you wrong, sometimes these people can't even do right by themselves. Sometimes they're not doing these things for themselves, so how can they do them for you? How can they be supportive of someone else when they are not supportive of you? When they are not supportive of themselves, especially the people who you're always helping. What I found out is that the people that I help the most, the people that I do the most for, those are the people who end up disappointing me. Those are the people who end up letting me down because they don't have it to give. I am their rock. I am who they rely on or they depend on. And that is why they aren't strong enough to hold me up. I'm lifting them. And so I don't want you to be discouraged. I want you to keep going every day. I want you to pray. One of my favorite things is God has the final say, the best is yet to come, and God has the final say. So trust and believe that God will be your guide throughout your emotional changes. Speak to a professional. If you are feeling any hopelessness, if you're feeling any discouragement, if you're feeling any symptoms of depression, do not claim depression over your life. Do not say, I'm depressed. Do not allow that to take over you. What you can say is, I'm experiencing symptoms of depression and I'm working on balancing my emotions. Depression, I believe scientifically, is a chemical imbalance, but I'm going to put the correct information on the screen for you. I care about you. You're my community. And I want you to know that someone is listening. Someone is there. If you need to talk to someone, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling alone, if you need some encouragement, if you need someone to talk to, I will leave my number. It's a Florida number in my comment box. I have an Ohio number, 614-500-3586. That is my actual phone number. If you text me and say, I need someone to talk to, I'm feeling discouraged, I need some encouragement, I will respond to you. You can message me and we can go from there. I want you to know that you do have someone. But I also want you to know that if you ever felt discouraged to the point that you don't want to be here, if you ever felt discouraged to the point that you felt like you may put your hands or harm yourself or anything of that nature, call and ask for help. Local hospitals, they do have crisis hotlines. They have people that can assist you. So please, if it becomes too much for you to manage on your own, reach out for help. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video on how I balance depression and how I don't let my disappointment take over, because that's really what the depression stemmed from, me feeling discouraged and me feeling disappointed because I didn't feel I had support during my recovery. Right now, I'm in my 5th week of an 8-week recovery. I'm able to wake up and I'm able to have a day mostly without being on pain medication. I'm doing pretty good. I'm grateful. I'm happy. And I just wanted to pass this message along because even right now, me being in the park, I had a heavy day today. I'm not going to hold you. I had a heavy day today. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I've been having some discomfort that I need to go get checked out, make sure that I'm healing correctly, etc. And I was frustrated when I came to the park. But something said, pick your camera up, because in real time, I actually calmed myself down just by being in this space. The park is pretty big. There are kids screaming over here. You have people playing basketball, people walking their dogs. It feels good to be in fresh air. It feels good to sit back and reflect. And the main reason why I felt discouraged or symptoms of depression is because I didn't feel like anybody cared about me or cared about my recovery. And it goes back to my relationship with God, because I know God loves me. I know Jesus loves me. I know God cares for me. And I know that God is my provider and he has the final say. So I'm not going to allow myself to be discouraged or even spend too much energy being disappointed in humans, because I believe that nobody can love me, provide for me, or take care of me the way my God does. So I won't allow what people are not doing for me to discourage me. And sometimes when I feel discouraged or I'm frustrated about something going on in my life, I have to talk myself through it. What could I be doing to make the situation better for myself? What could I be doing to be more encouraged or be more uplifted in this situation? And in this instance, I'm praying, I'm showing gratitude, I'm going to the park, I'm hugging trees, I'm taking deep breaths, I'm grounding myself, I'm meditating, I'm praying, I'm reading books, I'm listening to music. I'm showing gratitude. I'm showing gratitude to the people that have been there for me, that have supported me. I am growing and I'm changing and I'm bringing you along with me on the journey. My name is IndiaMonetSpeaks, and I speak about a lot of different things. And thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe.